You know, for the last 30 years or so, we've built our entire digital world around one simple thing, the human click. I mean, every button, every menu, every single website was designed for us, but a really profound shift is underway. We're moving from a world built for human clicks to one that's being built for AI minds. So let's break down what that really means. All right, to get our heads around this, we're gonna start with the star of the show, Agentic AI. Then we'll see why our digital world needs a complete redesign for these new AI users. From there, we'll check out how businesses are already putting them to work, what kind of new tech foundations this all needs, and finally, we'll get to maybe the biggest question of all, where do we fit into this new era of collaboration? So let's start at the beginning. Before we can even talk about redesigning the world, we've got to understand this revolutionary new user that's just shown up, and it's basically changing all the rules. Just think about that for a second. We're all so used to AI assistants, right? They respond to our commands. But what happens when the software doesn't just sit there and wait for instructions, but actually takes the initiative to get things done all on its own? Well, that's the core idea of Agentic AI. As researchers define it, these things are not just advanced chatbots, no way. They are autonomous programs that can understand a high-level goal, break it down into smaller steps, figure out the best way forward, and then actually act to make it happen. They're problem solvers, not just task doers. This slide right here, this really gets to the heart of it. An AI assistant is a tool. It reacts when you give it a command. But an AI agent, that's a collaborator. It's proactive. So for example, it doesn't just schedule a meeting when you ask. It might see your goal is to launch a new product and then, all on its own, reorganize your entire week's calendar to give you maximum focus time. Now that is a true game changer. Okay, so if we're all on board with the idea that these AI agents are the new users of the internet, that leads to a huge second question. Are our websites and apps and all our systems even built for them? The short answer is no. And that means we have to rethink, well, pretty much everything.
This analogy just illustrates the point brilliantly. For decades, we design user interfaces, our digital roads, for human drivers. But an autonomous car, it doesn't need a beautiful dashboard or an easy-to-grip steering wheel. What it needs is clear data, predictable pathways, and direct access to the engine. It's the exact same idea for AI agents. And this brings us to a whole new field, agent experience, or AX. You know, user experience, UX, is all about making things look good and feel intuitive for the human eye. But AX, that's all about machine efficiency. The goal isn't to be pretty, it's to be perfectly logically clear for an AI. And that means using tools like clean, structured data and something called APIs, which are basically standardized doorways that let different software programs talk to each other without any confusion. So what does designing a good agent experience actually look like? Well, it means making your data totally obvious and machine-readable, not hiding it in some fancy graphic an AI can't understand. It means building those API doorways to be really clear and well-labeled. It's about creating systems where an agent can just get to work instantly and learn on the job while still leaving a way for us humans to step in and collaborate when we need to. Now, this isn't some far-off theoretical future. This agent-centric world is already being built, and it's having a massive impact on how businesses operate, like right now. This quote from a recent study just paints a perfect picture. This whole seamless journey, it's not a bunch of disconnected marketing tricks. No, it's the work of AI agents operating behind the scenes, connecting your online activity to your in-store experience in real time. It's all about creating a single, frictionless journey for you. And it's all powered by data. In that same study, an AI analyzed customer behavior and automatically segmented them into these value groups you see here. But here's the really crucial part. An AI agent can then run a different, totally tailored strategy for each group at the same time. That means personalized rewards for your best customers, automated outreach for others, all happening at a scale and speed no human team could ever dream of managing. And it gets even more meta than that, because now we're seeing agents create content specifically for other agents. Programmatic SEO is a perfect example. This is where AI systems automatically generate thousands of web pages designed to answer every little niche search query you can imagine. I mean, think about that. It's an AI building a massive machine-readable library for Google's AI agents to crawl, all in an effort to ultimately get the right answer back to a human. Wild. So if we're going to have all these agents running around, doing tasks and talking to each other, they're going to need a new kind of playground to do it in. The old rigid systems we have now, they just won't cut it. And hey, the experts totally agree. Gartner predicts that in just a couple of years, a staggering 70% of organizations will need to adopt what's called a composable first approach. This isn't just a minor tweak, this is a fundamental rebuild of their entire digital infrastructure. So, what in the world is this composable architecture? Honestly, the best way to think of it is like a box of Lego bricks instead of a model that's already been glued together. Each part of the business, your e-commerce, your customer data, your content, is a separate brick. And they all connect through those standard API doorways we talked about earlier. This makes for an incredibly flexible system where an AI agent can just easily grab whatever brick it needs to do its job without getting bogged down by the entire structure. This slide really just nails the difference. The traditional, monolithic systems, they're like a rigid, tangled knot. If one part gets outdated, the whole thing is basically compromised. But a composable system? It's more like this flexible, interconnected net. You can upgrade or swap out any single piece without breaking the whole structure. And that kind of adaptability is absolutely essential in the super fast-moving world of AI.
Which brings us to the final and, maybe the most important piece of the whole puzzle. What does all of this actually mean for us? How do we work alongside these powerful new collaborators?
And make no mistake about it, the business world is not waiting around. A massive 93% of organizations believe that getting AI agents up and running successfully in the next year is critical to staying competitive. The race is officially on. And just look at how fast the roles are expected to change. As this chart shows, right now, most places see AI as an assistant. But fast forward just 1 to 3 years, and the majority expect AI to be directing work as a full-on collaborator. That is a massive leap in autonomy and responsibility.
For any of that to work, one thing is absolutely non-negotiable: trust. It's just like a climber who has to trust the gear holding them to the rock face. We have to trust that our AI agents are reliable, that they're safe, and that they're aligned with our goals. Without that secure connection, the whole system just falls apart. And as this quote on the screen makes so clear, this isn't just about trusting the AI to get the right answer. It requires transparency, so we can actually understand why an agent made a certain decision. It requires safeguards to prevent things from going wrong, and it demands super clear lines for human oversight, so we can step in when needed. So here we are at a major crossroads. For 30 years, we perfected a digital world for human fingertips and eyeballs. The next decade is going to be all about rebuilding that world for autonomous, intelligent agents. The question isn't whether it's coming, it is. The real question is, are we ready to build it right?